thief is already at the gate. The prize lies just inches from his jaws, hidden beneath packed earth and shadow. It is close enough to taste, close enough to smell. But between hunger and reward stands something older than fear. Motherhood is a primal tether, ancient, unbreakable. She senses the danger before it fully forms. The soil vibrates with foreign intent. The air itself feels wrong, heavy with threat, as if the land is holding its breath. Claws grope blindly through the gloom, scraping against the tunnel walls, searching for weakness. The intruder works without hesitation, driven by instinct sharpened by hunger and opportunity. The fortress holds, for now. The burrow is narrow by design, carved deliberately, shaped to deny entry to bodies too large to force their way inside. Every second the hyena fails to break through feeds his frustration, turning patience into aggression. Inside the darkness, 3 lives lie huddled together, days old, blind, helpless. Their tiny bodies rise and fall with shallow breaths, unaware that death scrapes just above them, that jaws hover between soil and survival. They know only warmth and darkness, the faint vibrations of their mother's presence. Then the earth begins to fly. The hyena changes tactics. Powerful forelimbs tear into the dry ground, ripping apart the roof of the underground nursery grain by grain. Soil rains downward, filling the air with dust. The tunnel widens. A thin blade of light creeps into the darkness. The fragile shapes within are suddenly exposed, trembling at the edge of disaster. Then the wind shifts. A scent slams into her senses. Sharp, foreign, unmistakable. She freezes for a fraction of a heartbeat. Ahead, the intruder is already at work. The spotted hyena claws frantically at the earth, driven by the promise of helpless prey, desperate to breach the final barrier between hunger and reward. The trot becomes a gallop. Terror reigns in the darkness, but salvation arrives with the fury of something unleashed. She erupts from the earth without hesitation, a black and white blur of rage and resolve. The hyena spins, jaws snapping in confusion, barely registering the attack before it lands. He lifts her effortlessly, shaking her like a rag doll, teeth clamped onto loose skin. The difference in power is undeniable. His jaws can crush bone, but her body is built for this. Loose skin twists and slides beneath his bite, denying him a killing grip. It is not designed for comfort, but for survival. Her resolve is iron. Driven by desperation, the hyena tries to push past her, to fight through the pain, to reach the feast waiting beneath the soil. But she refuses to yield. She clamps onto his jaw, an anchor of pure fury, teeth sinking deep into sensitive flesh where pain cannot be ignored. The hyena pushes forward, enduring, determined. The prize feels agonizingly close, but the mother becomes a shadow he cannot shake. Inch by agonizing inch, she drags him backward, muscles screaming, claws carving deep trenches into the dirt. Dust explodes into the air as she scrambles back toward the burrow. The hunter remains at the threshold, waiting, calculating, unwilling to abandon the effort. She knows she cannot allow the danger to linger. Inside, 3 fragile lives depend entirely on her courage. She emerges again, not to flee, but to draw the threat away. The hyena lunges, teeth clamping down on loose, rubbery skin. Lifted from the ground, she hangs suspended, seemingly helpless against crushing power. To lose here would mean more than death. It would erase a future. It would condemn an entire bloodline to silence. Elsewhere on the plains, a pack of African wild dogs crowds around a fresh carcass. Mottled coats press shoulder to shoulder as they tear and swallow with urgent precision. The air vibrates with high-pitched chattering calls. Not chaos, but coordination. Yet in a land where meat is never truly owned, another presence drifts closer through the dust. A lone spotted hyena lifts its head, ears pricked to the unmistakable sounds of feeding. Drawn by the promise of energy, it pads forward, shoulders rolling, nose fixed on the scent of blood and bone. Unmoved by snarls and snapping feints, the hyena pushes through the bluff. With raw confidence, It seizes the carcass and drags its stolen prize away, ignoring the storm of protest behind it. Wild dogs rarely risk full combat with heavier hyenas. A broken leg could end future hunts, and in their world, that cost is far greater than losing a single meal. African wild dogs, also known as painted wolves, are among the most efficient hunters on the continent. Built for endurance rather than brute force, they can run for kilometers at speeds nearing 60 kilometers per hour, wearing prey down through relentless pursuit. Their cooperative success rate is among the highest of all predators. Yet despite their skill, habitat loss, disease, and human conflict have pushed them toward endangered status. In the wild, they typically live 8 to 10 years, their lives often cut short not by age, but by injury, illness, and competition. In Africa's great arenas of survival, strength wears many faces. Sometimes it roars, sometimes it endures, and sometimes it stands its ground beneath the earth, defending 3 fragile lives against impossible odds.